It's your girl, Kris Kaylin, and you might recognize this face next to me if you have seen When They See Us, and you know exactly who this is, or Moonlight, or Mr. Mercedes, but I'm not about to go down the list because you have a very, very large resume, but I'm sitting here with Jharell Jerome. Thank you for taking the time out.
Of course, what's up?
So you're straight off of When They See Us, and you had a lot going on with that, and you guys have received 16 Emmy nominations, and you have snagged one of those nominations, which was the Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series. How was that when you got the news?
It was crazy. I was in New York City. It was actually just 2 days ago. I was in New York City at a restaurant, and I was with my manager and some close friends of mine, and we were just sitting around the table and we watched it live. I put it up on my phone and we were just watching it, and I was extremely nervous, but at the same time I went into it with the mindset of get it or not, it's a beautiful thing to be talked about and to be inside of this conversation amongst other legends who were being talked about. So it was just, here it is. And my manager, she was so funny. She was talking about how my category wasn't gonna go up to the end. They were my category was the very first thing that was said.
So it was like butterflies kind of?
Super. I mean, it's like, I don't know, butterflies. A ton of butterflies, a ton of just nerves, and they were saying it, and then boom, they said my name, and I freaked out, and my manager almost fainted. People thought we were having a heart attack.
I'm like, well-deserved heart attack.
Well-deserved heart attack.
Well-deserved. But if you have not seen it, definitely watch When They See Us. And it wasn't easy to watch, I will say that. It took me like a week to watch it and a lot of tissue. Mm-hmm. But just seeing how you portrayed the gut-wrenching, and like when Korey got the chia pet, I was like, I'm happy he got this chia pet, but you deserve so much more than a chia pet. So just the way you convey that to the crowd, I think it was definitely worthy of the Emmy. But what was it just like meeting Korey Wise and just immersing yourself into that role?
It was by far one of the most difficult experiences, maybe the most difficult experience for me, mentally, emotionally, even physically, because I did some working out to kind of...
We saw you, we saw you.
Put a little weight on.
We saw it.
No, but it was extremely taxing, but everything was so worth it. It was such a beautiful process. I got to meet Korey Wise himself and spend a lot of time with him one-on-one, and that was kind of the foundation of my drive and my inspiration to pour my heart and soul into it. Just meeting that man, this is real life, you know?
Right.
And he went through these experiences. See, as an actor, the beautiful part is that you can create these false worlds for people. You can create an imaginary circumstance for people who feel like they can relate to it. But this is real life, you know? This was a real man who went through a real tragedy. And so there's so much responsibility. I don't want to call it pressure, because to me, pressure sounds negative. To me, it was responsibility. It was honor that I had to fulfill for him.
Right.
And so that sort of idea behind everything made it extremely difficult for me. But having Ava and having the cast and crew on my side, just pushing me through.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
So from titles like Mr. Mercedes, Moonlight, what do you think the role in When They See Us was just so... I can't think of the word. Just made people stop and just be like, wow, like this is your role. Like you just made the world stop with that.
He's just such a different person. He's so unique. I mean, aside the fact of what I just said, where it's so real life. This is something real, not fake. So that already sets the tone for the emotion and kind of makes you feel a little more. But him in general, I mean, Korey Wise to me is, and I don't say this lightly, but he is the most unique person I've ever met from the inside and out. And I think he's always been that way. So the role is what it is, you know. I think the beautiful part about my performance is not just the fact that, I mean, thank you so much. It's a blessing to be received as an actor who's done his work, but it's more than that. It's who he is, and I just did my best to paint who he is in its entirety, so the world can see exactly the kind of man that he became. And I think the kind of man he is, it's just hard to not love him.
What was it like to have Oprah Winfrey speechless? Like, you had Oprah speechless, the Oprah. Yeah. So what was that like to just sit down with her?
That was crazy. I mean, I had seen a picture on Instagram first where she tagged me and put my face right up on her page, and that just, it blew my mind. I dropped my phone and had one of those movie moments where it's like, yo, and the phone drops.
This is it.
This is really it. And it was
it's a beautiful moment. I grew up so inspired by her. So for her to reach out, it's like Obama reaching out, really. It's like,
honestly,
really the top of the top and the most inspiring person. It was even cooler to get to meet her knowing that she had known me already.
Right.
You know, I always thought if I ever get to meet Oprah, I'm gonna be behind like a metal fence and there's
right.
police holding me back. I'm like, Oprah! But instead, you know, I got to meet her with her having the knowledge of who I am and respecting me.
And just the knowledge of who you are. How has life been like after when they see us?
Different. Different. Crazy.
Just a lot of people are recognizing you, noticing who you are.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, but it's just a different mindset you have to jump into. You know, my whole mantra and my whole way of life is to stay humble and to stay grounded in the people who love me and the people I love. And it's a weird thing when a lot of people you've never seen in your life kind of come up to you, showing you all this love, and
right.
I'm receiving it. It's just it's overwhelming.
Absolutely,
it's very overwhelming.
I can imagine. Just all the views. It was trending, and literally it was trending #1 in, I don't even want to say a day, a couple of hours. So all of that definitely
it's a different ball game. You know, it's different when you have this sort of fame and whatever. People can come up to you about anything. You were the guy who jumped off that cliff, or you were the guy who did this and that. The way they come up to me is kind of with tears, with emotion, with like, wow, you were the guy who made me feel something for 2 hours.
Right.
You know, so it's a different way of people approaching me. So it's really cool.
Right. And shifting gears, in case you didn't know, I had the opportunity to sit down with you 2 years ago, but it was at a pop-up for the EP, right? You were having, we're just going to insert pop-up, throwback, of the EP, The Moonwalk, and you were working on music. So shifting gears, do you have anything coming up music-wise, or what can we expect? Because you have a lot of things on your plate. You're a very busy man.
Yeah, all the music's coming out. Like you said, we met 2 years ago,
right? And
you did that thing for me 2 years ago, and it was incredible, but it was a whole different time for me at the time. I've been making music. Music is my life as well. I have such a passion for it. I'm from the Bronx, so it's kind of the birth of hip-hop and birth of freestyle and whatnot. So I grew up that kid on the lunch table, freestyling and rhyming and trying to diss you in a rhyme or whatever. So as the acting started to come into fruition and everything with the platform started to happen, I realized that I could take this music to a real level. So I've been writing songs only for about 2-3 years now, but I've been really honing in on my sound and finding it. So 2 years ago when we met, it was a whole different sound.
Right.
Definitely music I like and bump to, but it was a very young-minded set of music. So I'm excited to release all of the songs I've been working on for the past year, pretty much with all my boys down here in Charleston. And so it's a really cool set of music. I have a team out in LA ready to kind of put it all together and drop it, and that should happen this summer.
How have you, you've been here for like 2 years, so you're not new to Charleston anymore. You're like a local kind of. So how have you been enjoying Charleston, just the experience?
I love Charleston. I'm from New York, so it's a very different feel, very different energy.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure way slower.
Much slower, less to do, especially past 11 p.m., which sucks.
I know.
Overall, it's love and family for me down here. I think I really found a home in Charleston. I found a lot of my best friends for life. I found a lot of special people who I know I'm gonna keep with me for a long time. And at the same time, I found some dope music spots. The music culture down here is incredible. I mean, a lot of people sleep on it in terms of the entire world and this country. But the music scene down here is really inspiring. There's a lot of just people hustling and trying to do their thing, and so it keeps you focused. But I'm always going to be back. I think it's my last year. I think once I leave this time around, I won't be coming back. But I'm always trying to come back and see the places I know, see the people I know. Charleston is definitely a second home.
Absolutely. We love
it is. It really is.
Charleston is a great place, which is why we're the number 12 destination in the world. Is up here. Right. But quick game of this or that, real quick. So, the baby or Lil Baby?
The baby.
All right. Day party or nightclub?
I say a day party because you can leave whenever, as opposed to a nightclub where you feel like you gotta stay there all night.
Touché. Checks or stripes?
Checks or stripes?
Adidas or Nike?
Adidas.
Stripes. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Of course, he's trying to
Netflix.
check.
That's family. Don't say nothing bad about Netflix.
And lastly, seafood or soul food?
I'm allergic to seafood, so soul food all the way. And even if I wasn't allergic to seafood, it'd be soul food. But I'm allergic to all seafood, all shellfish,
Oh my
fish.
God.
I'm allergic to all peanuts, all nuts, sesame seeds. It goes on and on. So I got this little bubble of food I eat.
Oh God.
And soul food's in there though.
Okay, well I'm glad that because your eyes just lit up with soul food.
I'm hungry now, so I'm getting Chinese food right now.
No soul food. I'll take some soul food spots. You should try. But yeah, that's it. Congratulations on your Emmy nod, and you're just doing amazing things. Thank you for blessing Charleston with
Charleston blessed me.
Yeah, so I really appreciate you for taking the time to sit down with me. And is there anything you want to add? The people, I'm pretty sure they're following you and stuff already. But I mean, for someone who's living under a rock, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you could just
Google him.
Yeah.
Google.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter like that, so you can find me on Instagram. It's my name. There's an H in my name, kind of weird, so you gotta really.
Don't forget the H.
JHARREL.
And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch When They See Us, Mr. Mercedes, everything that he's been in. He's amazing. And when you get your Oscar, just don't forget about the little people.
Shout out to Charleston, everybody in Charleston.
And that's a wrap.
All right.
Yay. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.